targets can be revised higher all the way. Out of these 8, there are 3. So let me just share with you resistance. So there are indeed some signs of the trend turning up. Do you know that in the SGX, currently there are 8 Thailand stocks that you can actually buy just like any other normal Singapore stocks. You don't have to actually buy it on the Thailand Stock Exchange. How do you do it? Well, you can do it what we call under Thai SDR, Singapore Depository Receipts. Hey guys, Joe here, top tier MyZero trader in Philip Securities, and in this video, I'll be sharing with you guys three of the most promising out of these 8 Thailand stocks, whereby you can put in your watch list to ride potentially more upside. So I'll dive into the underlying stock before sharing with you as to how you can buy these stocks just like a normal Singapore stocks on the SDR. So if you want to know what these 3 Thailand stocks are, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. And this is in collaboration with SGX to share a little bit more awareness on Thai SDR. So on my watch list on the right over here, you can see that there are 8 Thailand stocks right now which you can actually buy on the Singapore exchange, right? But of course, not all are good. Some are a bit of a downtrend. We don't want to just buy because it might potentially hit lower. So out of these 8, there are 3. So let me just share with you the first one right over here called Kasikorn Bank, right? The code of the underlying stock that's listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand is KBank, KBANK. But of course, as I mentioned, you can actually buy these stocks on the Singapore Exchange, which I'll share in a bit after analyzing this stock. So KBank is one of the highest traded value domestic bank in Thailand. So you can see right now we are trading at about 127 Thai baht. So you can see that over the past few months, we have managed to find what we call a higher support level. So the support was actually somewhere around the 112. That was at the beginning of the year when we sold off. You can see that we found a little bit of a bottom, some bargain hunting came back, and we were actually consolidating below this resistance, the 120 Thai baht. But somewhere around like April, you can see we actually broke above the 120 resistance level. So that's a good thing. We broke 120 and went all the way to around 135, and some profit taking came back and we started trading down. But you can see this 120, all right, 120 Thai baht support level, the resistance has turned to a support level, and that is still holding, which can potentially be a level, right, whereby one can think about getting in to ride the upside. So I think upside targets could be all the way from like about 120 all the way to about 135. And in terms of the longer term trend, what we can do is that we can look at what we call the longer term moving average. So you can see, right, since last year 2023, right, the longer term trend was actually down just by looking at what we call the 100 days and the 200 days moving average. You can see right over here we had the 100 days moving average, this red line actually crossing down below the blue line, and both the red and blue since end of 2022 or maybe beginning of 2023 last year, it was like pointing down until right over here, right, over the past few weeks, finally we managed to see the 100 days moving average, the red line, crossing back above, all right, the blue line. So there's a sign of a potential change in trend in the longer term. And my take is that if you can stay above this 120 Thai baht, right, potentially you can start to see a bit of a reversal in the longer term. And if you can break this resistance at 135 now, that would be a key level. If you can break 135 Thai baht, potentially we may head to the next target, maybe around that 145 Thai baht. Alright, so what can we potentially do with this stock in terms of buying it on the SGX? Well, you can buy what we call the SDR. So very simple, you can do what we call a very quick currency conversion. So like for example, 120 Thai baht is the support level. If you want to convert it to Singapore dollars, you take 120 times 0.037, and that would be like about $4.44 Singapore dollars. And same thing, this resistance level, whereby we might see some profit taking happen again, is about 135 Thai baht. So you times 0.037, just convert from Thai baht to Singapore dollars. This resistance is about $5 in terms of Sing dollars. So anything near this, the 120 to maybe that 125 Thai baht, or maybe near this Singapore dollars, $4.44, there could be a potential entry to get in to ride the reversal all the way towards this 5 Sing dollars level, right? So let's take a look at what we call the SDR right now, right? And this is Kasikorn Bank. You can see right over here. So this is the underlying. You can see KBank at about 127.50 Thai baht. But as I mentioned, you can buy what we call the SDR. So look at the other line right here. You can see this is Kasikorn Bank space TH stands for Thai, right? So Thai space SDR, and it is trading at about $4.75 Singapore dollars. So remember, right, we talk about the support level at about $4.44. So if, in terms of the Singapore dollars price, if we were to hit to maybe near that 450, 445, or maybe even 460, that could be an entry to get in on this Thai SDR that tracks what we call the underlying stock that's listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Okay, so let's move on to the second Thailand stock I'd like to share with you, and this is called Advanced Info Service. Right over here on the Stock Exchange of Thailand, the code is ADVANC. All right, and this company is the largest telco in Thailand itself. So you can see right here, we are trading. Let me just turn this smaller, and we are trading at about 227 Thai baht right up here. So you can see I've drawn some of the key levels. You can see that we are actually attempting to break what we call the all-time high. So for Advanced Info Service, this is the underlying. You can see that we were right over here somewhere around like September. We touched that 225 Thai baht level, came all the way down, found a bottom somewhere around 190. You can see right over here a bit of support, came back, and yes, over the past 1 month, right, we managed to break this resistance level. That was where we have been trading below, all right, since like 2-3 months ago. March, we came down, and finally we broke above that 212, this resistance level. So you convert 212 to about Singapore dollars, you times 0.037. What happens is that for this Advanced Info Service, right, there's a ratio of like 10 SDR to 1 underlying stock. So what happens is you have to take the Thai baht times 0.037, the exchange rate, and then you have to divide it by 10 to get the Thai SDR price. So it's about 0.7878 cents and about 0.83 cents in terms of the resistance at 225 Thai baht. So you can see, right, we are actually attempting to break this 225 resistance. So there are indeed some signs of the trend turning up. Look at this, right? The 20 days moving average, the green line was like sloping down. Now it is starting to point up, right? And you can see over the past like 1 week, it has started to slope up even more. So the short-term trend is pointing up right now, and we are actually attempting to break the resistance that we've been trading below for about 6 to 7 months. So that could be a good thing. I think that could be a good entry on dips anywhere near to like 220 to 225, new support level. Potentially buyers might start to come back to push it even higher, all the way to around the next target. So what could be the next target? Well, based on this consolidation, it was like about 210 to 225, so you can like extrapolate, it may be all the way to around 240, right? So 240, that could be the next upside targets whereby we may see some profit taking again. So anywhere on dips near this support level, the 225 to 220 Thai baht. So if you convert it to Singapore dollars, maybe it's about like 80 cents to 0.83 cents, right? And that's where a good time to entry to get in to ride the uptrend even further, all the way to around 88 cents. So let me show you what we call the SDR right here, and this is Advanced Info Service. So 227, this is the underlying that's listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand, and we have these AIS, so Advanced Info Service space TH means Thai space SDR. That is the one that is listed on the SGX. And you can see we are trading at about 0.845. So the code is TADD. So you can simply go to any trading platform, type TADD, and you will be able to find this SDR which you can buy just like any other normal Singapore stock. So about 0.845. So I mentioned if we dip to maybe 83 cents, 81, or maybe 80 cents, that could be a good entry to ride the uptrend even further, or maybe a rebound all the way up towards maybe that 88 cents, and that's where you could take some profit as well. So let's take a look at the third and final Thailand stock that is called Delta Electronics, one of the top electronics company that's listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand, and the code is DELTA, Delta, all right? And you can see this is where it is trading right now. So Delta Electronics, you can see on my watch list here, is about 92.25 Thai baht. All right, so you can see that we are actually attempting to break a very key resistance level, and this level is none other than the 95 Thai baht level. You can see since like October for about 5 to 6 months, we have been trading below this very critical resistance. We touched about 1, 2 times, and over the past week, it seems like we're attempting to break this in 95. So if you convert 95 to to Sing dollars, right? 95 times 0.037, that would be about $3.52. So there are some signs of this stock staging what we call a reversal just by looking at the moving average, right? So you can see for the past few months since February, we actually found a resistance below the 80 Thai baht level, right? So 80 was kind of like a resistance. We were trading below for like about 2 to 3 months. You can see it went down, up. So lower highs being found, but we were kept below 80. And finally, we broke above that 80 resistance while the 20 days moving average line started to slope up. You can see this 20 days moving average line, it is still sloping up. So there are some signs of the short-term trends still pointing up. And if we can break this 95, I think potential targets can be revised higher all the way to 120 Thai baht, which is very critical because 120 is pretty much where we were last year. Look at this, right? We touched, sold down, we touched, we sold back down. So that is potentially where some heavy selling can come back again. But at least for now, you can see that there are some signs of a reversal. So this company is slowly, pushing higher, attempting to break a new high, all right, and even finding what we call higher support over the past few months, right? You can see the support used to be at about 65, it became 70, right now it's 80. In fact, it has gone from 80 maybe to 90, all right? 90 may even be the support that you've seen over the past 1 week, right? So what can we do? We can actually take a position in what we call the SDR. So I've just kind of like, drawn the support level. So in terms of the Thai baht, 80 times 0.037 is about $2.96, and this would be about $3.52. Okay, so this is delta, right? So 92.50, that is the one that's listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Next one would be here, the SDR, delta space TH Thai space SDR, all right? The code is TDED. You can see it's about $3.41, right? So $3.41 Singapore dollars, which is correct, right? You can see the resistance is $3.52, so now it's slightly below the resistance, so it's like $3.41. So maybe if it does dip like 340 or maybe 330, that's where potentially we might see some support coming back. All right, that's where a good time actually to get in, and hopefully it break the 352, right? This resistance $3.52 Sing dollars. If that breaks, great. We may slowly make our way all the way up to $4.44. So there we have it, guys. These are pretty much the 3 Thailand stocks out of these 8, right, that is in my watch list right now that could potentially offer more upside, or at least there are some signs of strength from trend indicators. So let me do a quick recap. The first one will be what we call Kasikorn Bank. All right, K Bank is the underlying. You can go to buy what we call the SDR. The code is TKKD, currently trading at $4.75 Singapore dollars. The next one will be what we call Advanced Info Service, the one that's listed in Stock Exchange of Thailand. Is the largest telco in Thailand, right? This is the underlying Advanced ADVANC. On the SGX, you can see this is the code TADD, trading at about 0.845 Singapore dollars. And finally, we have Delta Electronics. Delta, DELTA, is the one listed on the Thailand Stock Exchange. Of course, you can buy what we call the SDR right here, TDED, $3.41 Singapore dollars. All right, so these are the 3 Thailand stocks that you can potentially take a position on just by buying what we call the SDR, the Thai SDR, which is like any other normal Singapore stocks. So do check it out, and if you like this video, guys, you got some value, go ahead to give me a like, smash the subscribe button. That will definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this. So this in collaboration with SGX to share or spread a bit more awareness on the Thailand stocks, the Thai SDR on SGX. So I hope I have given you some direction on the top 3 out of the 8 to actually focus on. So Joey here, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.